Guess what? Guess who won week 15? This guy right here. And actually, so there were like, what, three people I think tied for the certain amount of wins. I was 11 for 16. Not bad. 11 and 5. Not bad at all. If I would listen to Rich, I would win more games. But you know what? So be it. I've always been a loner. By the way, please visit GaretChristopher.com. You'll find out GaretChristopher.com. You find out more about me. I'm a self-published author. I got some books up here somewhere. And so 5 books I've released and 3 audiobooks available on Audible and iTunes. I do a weekly podcast. Right now, my podcast available on Soundcloud and Spotify. I am presenting my third audiobook, the most recent, The Takeover, Part 1, a sci-fi series in its entirety. So I'm just doing snippets, right? And this last 2 weeks, I've actually presented, because I have, like myself, I'll narrate, talk about certain scenes I'm going to put, whatever I'm presenting for that particular week. Well, sometimes because I do all the voices on these audiobooks. That's probably why they're not selling. But anyway, that's besides the point. So sometimes I'll have one of my fictional characters sit in as the host for that particular week. Ben Mitchell, who's a California boy, has been sitting in the last 2 weeks, this week, which I just finished up, and this past week, because he's the one involved in this particular section of the book, right? And he talks like this. He's kind of California cowabunga type dude. So yes, I had a lot of fun doing that. So please check that out. My other YouTube channels, there's Garet's Movie Take. I just saw Spider-Man No Way Home. That was a lot of fun. I had a good time with that movie. I wouldn't give it the same rating that Rotten Tomatoes gives it. Rotten Tomatoes is like 98, 99%. I wouldn't give it that. But it is very good. And a lot of special things about it. If you are a Spider-Man fan, if you're a Tom Holland fan, if you're a Marvel Comics fan, no spoilers here, but you want to see it in the theater for sure. Visually, it's really, really cool. Just the effects are really, really good. And of course, Spider-Man's costume blue and red, so it's just very colorful, right? Really, really cool. Garet's Take, I think tonight, I'm going to brave the winter cold and go down to my, kind of like Main Street in my downtown where I reside, and give you a snippet of because I've got like a bunch of trees lined up with lights and stuff and a Christmas tree. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick Garet's Take there so you'll kind of see what it looks like. I think I'll do that and maybe sing a couple of Christmas carols for you. I don't know about all that, but anyway, yeah. So I won this week's pool, and I won it because even though, the rule is this: Price is Right rules. The Monday night game, the final game usually, in this case we had 2 Tuesday night games, but the Monday night game is usually the one to end up the week, and you got to choose combined points for that particular week. I chose 44. Well, of course, those teams didn't come anywhere close to 44 points, but the other people who also had 11 wins had more points chosen than I did, so by default I won it. Who cares? Money in the pocket, baby. Money in the pocket. What else we got going on? I talked about, my website, GaretChristopher.com. You find out more about me. It'll tell you all about what's going on as far as the books, audiobooks, blah, blah, blah. And the podcast. Please check it out. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun doing it. Okay, so week 15, 11 and 5. We're now week 16. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's see if I can see my screen. So tomorrow night, Thursday night, it's almost Christmas. Can you believe it? By the way, Merry Christmas to you and Happy New Year. Well, I'll talk to you before Happy New Year, but anyway, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Okay, the Niners at the Titans. Okay, so right now, not only do you have to look and see who's playing and the usual, who's quarterbacking, who's in and out, who's got COVID. I mean, the Browns at the Packers. I was going to choose the Packers anyway, but the Browns have a lot of people out. The Chiefs, who are they playing? I'll look here in a second, but the Chiefs, they're decimated, right? So are my Lakers, by the way. I'll talk about that here in a second. All right, Niners at the Titans. So both vying for a playoff spot at this point, and it's in Tennessee. Man, it's a tough one. You know what? I'm going to go with the Niners for the upset. They're playing well. And I think they can sniff the fact that they might be able to eke in. If they can go 3-0 the remaining 3 games, they could win the NFC West. I don't think it'll happen. I still choose the Rams, even though the Cardinals and the Rams are tied up there at 10-4. But the Niners have a shot, and I think they're going to play like it. I'm choosing them in Tennessee. All right, Browns at Packers. I already told you the Packers for that one. Colts at the Cardinals. The Colts played well. They gave the Patriots their first road loss this past week. The Cardinals, man, you know what? I'm going to go back to where it was before, where I just didn't trust them. Now, the Cardinals, let's see, what was it? What happened this past week? I can't even remember. Anyway, I'm taking the Colts. Another road win on that one. That's a Saturday night game. I'm taking the Colts for that one because, again, they're vying for a playoff spot, and I'm going to choose them. Okay, Lions at the Falcons. Who cares, truthfully, but let's take the Falcons, whatever. Rams at the Vikings. I'm going to take the Rams in that one. Oh, great. Now it's not going to scroll down. I'm taking the Rams in that one. Good win by the Vikings, all right, this past week. Jaguars at the Jets. I thought the Jags would. Okay. Last week, I failed in two areas. One, I tried to give you this gorgeous sunset, but I couldn't get outside in time, get my camera together in time to give it to you. So it just looked like I was, just a boring dusk. Secondly, I talked about the Urban Meyer thing and made fun of the kid who was like, oh, he kicked me, and then the next day, or maybe that night, Urban gets canned. I wonder something, though. Not that Urban Meyer, Oscar Meyer. Urban Meyer was doing a good job, but I wonder if, well, a few things here. There could be other things that they had been hiding, right? Sweeping under the rug, and this was the straw that broke the camel's back. So it gave him a chance to get Urban out of there. By the way, I don't think they have to pay him for the remainder of his 4-year contract, from what I understand, because of what's going on there. And I'm sure there'll be legalities or legal battles over that. But then I kind of wonder, okay, did ownership, if they weren't happy with his coaching, did they use the situation as an excuse to get rid of him and go from there and get off the hook as far as for what, he was owed? Did anyone expect Jacksonville to have a good season this year? I mean, truthfully, you have, I know, a long tenured coach in college, but really a rookie NFL coach and a rookie quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. I like Trevor Lawrence. He's a stud of a kid. I still think that when he shined the brightest, it was his receivers that made him look so good at Clemson. But what a specimen. So I'm sure he'll do a really good job. But did anyone expect? I think I prognosticated, whatever the word is. I think I said maybe 5 wins for the season. I was being generous. They're not going to get there, but I chose them last week. I thought they would kind of rally together, and they didn't get their butts kicked by Texas, right? In that one. Well, now the Chargers are in town. They're not going to win that one either, so I'm picking the Chargers. Yeah, I'm not an Urban Meyer fan. Please don't get that. I just kind of feel like, okay, we're kind of like, doing this and doing that. And I wouldn't be surprised if ownership used what happened, what went out in the media as an excuse to get rid of a coach that they felt like, we're paying all this guy this money. It's not happening. But again, did you really expect Jacksonville to have a good year this year? You're going to get a top 3 pick again, or they trade it away? I don't think so. Another top 3 pick this year. Go from there, put it together. But, I remember 3 or 4 years ago, man, they really played over their heads and had a chance to, what was it? Who were they playing in the playoffs? I can't remember now, but they did really, really well. And then I expected the next year they would do well again. They did not. So there are some issues there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm dealing with the same thing in Miami at this point, where even though we're 7-7, won 6 in a row, kind of crazy, not going to make the playoffs. So please behave yourself, because you're going to New Orleans this year, Monday night coming up. New Orleans is trying to vie for a playoff spot. You're not going to win in New Orleans. I'm sorry. Tua's done okay. You know what? He's made some passes that I've seen some zip. That's what I was concerned about. Did he have some zip on that ball? And I've seen some things. And running out of that pocket. He's running for his life. That offensive line has him running for his life. This guy's just going everywhere, man, because he has to. And you know what? He's getting it. He's getting it. If I was Miami, I would use whatever draft pick you have, first round, on something else. I wouldn't do maybe running back. We'll see. Okay. So I'm taking the Chargers in Texas. The Buccaneers at the Panthers. Man, the Bucs got shut out. And my Dolphins are the last team to shut Brady out. What was it? Almost so many years ago, Bob. I just read that quickly. I thought that was interesting. Bucs at the Panthers. I'm going to take the Bucs in that one. Let's see. The Bears at the Seahawks. The Seahawks have no chance of going anywhere. Neither do the Bears. But they're in Seattle, so I'll take Seattle. Broncos at the Raiders. Both going for a playoff spot, more so the Raiders. They're in Las Vegas. I hope the Raiders win. For Raider Nation, I hope they do. I'll take them. I'll take them. Yeah. I thought the Broncos would win last week, and they didn't, but so be it. But we'll take the Raiders. Steelers at the Chiefs. Usually, I would take the Chiefs. They're in Kansas City. But, again, they're decimated by injuries. And I know that the Bucs also, they lost their main receiver. I get that, but I still think that they'll beat the Panthers. I'm going to take The Chiefs in that game. I'm going to take them. I know their weapons aren't there, but the Steelers are not. Yeah, they're playing okay. I know they're vying for a spot. I get that, but you're in Kansas City. Kansas City is playing well right now. Their defense is, so I'm gonna take them. Washington football team at the Cowboys. I'm taking the boys in that one. They're in there, and I already told you the Dolphins at the Saints. I'm taking the Saints for that one. What else we got? That's it, right? I covered all the teams. Yeah, there you go. Looks like some games just are becoming less and less interesting, right? Because the playoff implications. Let's see. When will I talk about playoffs? I'll probably wait until week 17. We'll deal with it then and talk about whatever going in. Okay, Lakerland. I know it's been a long time coming. I told you 25 games. Now we're at like 30, 31 games. But truthfully, just when I felt like there was an identity coming in for this team, COVID, and they had 6 players out one game, and now they had 4 out the next night. They barely lost in Chicago, and they had a couple people out. Now AD's out for 4 weeks. You're not going to get a handle on them for a while. So truthfully, they're going to remain in that 7, 8, 6, maybe even 9 spot, somewhere in there for the next month. And AD gets back. I think they'll be okay. Luckily, they're getting some pieces in. Trevor Reese is back in there. I want to see Malik Monk in that offense. That's who I want to see. That'll help quite a bit, I'm sure. But yeah, until this COVID thing ends, as far as getting enough players, I can see 1 or 2 out, but not 4, 5, 6 players. You can't really get a good, because they were getting their team defense. That's where it's been failing, not in scoring. It's been the team defense situation. So until they have guys they can count on regularly in there in regular rotations, it's going to be tough. And I know it's not just the Lakers, it's the whole league. I get it. But yeah, and